Today we're going to fill a cup using the Bifrost system in Maya. To start, we need to make the cup. Start with a sphere. And then in the attribute editor, go to Polysphere 1. Increase the subdivision axis to 20 and also increase the subdivision height to 20. You can use the slider or just type the numbers in. While I'm here, I'll also shrink down the radius a little, just because the simulation system does look at the size of the object. Move the cup up, select face, and then delete the top half so that it looks like a goblet. Make sure your orientation is straight so that your cup stays even. Then select all of the faces and go to the modeling toolkit. Use extrude and give it a little thickness so that it looks like a cup, and that we have normals on both sides. From there, select the faces on the bottom using shift-click. Sometimes you can go to the next face and double-click, and that will select the whole section, but for me, it was actually selecting all of the faces this way instead of around. Again, use the extrude. Extrude down, almost to the grid, and then divide it into 5 faces. From there, go to Vertex and select the middle vertices. Go to the Scale tool and double-click. Make sure Soft Select is visible and then select the Soft Select option. Select the vertices on the bottom of the cup without actually getting the glass or the round part of it. It looks like that should work. In the top view, shrink down both axes so that you have a curve. If yours is like mine and not moving in a smooth fashion, you may need to increase the radius fall off. There we go. Also, I'm just going to tweak my settings a tiny bit. There we go, that looks better. From there, right-click and select faces one more time so that we can make the bottom. Turn off Soft Select. And once again, shift-click all of the faces. Once again, extrude. And this time, aside from just doing the thickness, we'll also adjust the offset so that we have the bottom of the cup. That should look good. From here, we'll put a glass texture on it. I'll also save scene just in case anything crashes because I'm about to open up the hypershade. I'm going to make a new folder, Bifrost, Demos, save my liquid here. And then just for organization's sake, I'll go Project Window, hit New, find that folder that I just made, and set everything else there as well. This will also allow me to have autosaves and functionality that I wouldn't normally have if I didn't set that project window. So we'll open up Hypershade. And we'll add a Mia material, Mia Material X. If this doesn't show up, then you need to go to your render settings, and make sure that you have Mental Ray active. If you don't have Mental Ray, remember that is in Windows, Settings Preferences, Plugin Manager, and then scroll down until you find Maya 2 MR. Make sure that's loaded and auto-loaded. So in the Mia materials, we're going to go to Presets, which are where you'll find all your architectural materials. And I'm going to go to Glass Solid. I want to replace this completely. The other options allow you to mix, so that you could say 90% of the material is this one and 10% is the other. But we just want this one to be glass. Remember, I can drag on by middle click and just dragging it onto the texture. However, it makes my object look almost invisible. So just for visibility's sake for this project, I'm going to go ahead and put this in a box. Go to Face, Delete, back to Object Mode, go to Modeling, and under Mesh Display is where I can reverse this so that the normals will be facing my cup. From here, I'll go ahead and put another Mia material on it. I'll go ahead and leave it at the defaults, but pick something like maybe a tan, red, or orange so that my water texture will stand out. However, that might make your texture appear a little more red. So if your reflection is too high, your liquid might look a little more rusty. If you have that, you can always feel free to change it to blue. It'll blend in a little more, but it will give your liquid a good color. Now I need to actually add the Bifrost system. First, I'll add an object for it to generate on. Now go ahead and set wireframe back, because what I want to draw is a little box. I'm going to put this above my cup, and I could texture it. Typically, if you were doing liquid, you would have it pouring out of a surface, so I might take the time to model a can or a bottle, but just for this demonstration, we'll make it work off of the box. From here, I go to Modeling Effects and go to Bifrost. Once again, if you don't have Bifrost, go to Window, Setting Preferences, go to the Plugin Manager, and you can find all the Bifrost options under C, Program Files, Autodesk Maya 2016 Plugins, Bifrost, and go ahead and load all these plugins. I'm going to just create a liquid. And honestly, as you can see from the speed of my computer, I should have saved before I did that. What this is going to do is create a particle system, and when I run it, you'll start to see liquid generate. Now right now it is not going into the cup. And that is because I haven't set the cup up as a collider. To do that, I click on the box, hold Shift, and click on the collider. In this case, it would be the cup. From here, go to Bifrost and Collider. If you notice, I clicked on the wrong box. I need to be on the red box, the outside one. That's the one that contains the liquid. And then I'll hold Shift and try again. There we go. Bifrost, Collider. Now when we run that same simulation, it'll run in whichever window we select. What you'll see is that the liquid starts to gather in the cup. It's hitting it with such force that it's coming back out. So I may want to either increase the height that this liquid is away from, or go into these settings, the Bifrost settings, go to Attribute Editor, and this is where we can actually change the amount of particles, the point size, the render quality, and we could actually set the gravity, magnitude, and direction. So I could actually decrease gravity. There's quite a few different options that I can do to adjust these particles. In the material, this is where you would change the look of the liquid. For right now, however, I'll let you play with this on your own, and also delete any extraneous things that you may have made in the scene, as I did. But at this point, let's just frame the shot and render out one image. Now, because you're working with mental ray and particles, this can definitely take a long time. So think about leaving yourself a large amount of time if you're going to be rendering out the whole video. It's a little more of a boring composition. So I want to try here when there's actually water falling out of the composition. So at this point, the particles are really pulling together. I would probably want to change the distance of my box and also start adjusting the particle size and the amount. But for right now, you've been given your start. This will really depend on the scene that you make your initial object. Some people who do a larger cup won't be seeing this much pulling, and people who make a smaller cup will actually notice more. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you have fun with the rest of this project.